Want to know? I discovered the NU just now, but just to recap, we want to wait for a candle below that support there. So it's below 64.60. This is fake. This is just like a baloney candle. This is just a ruse. It's not real. And so it's going up in order to come down. And so just remember that on that level there. So it's very naughty, really, because we should be falling, but it's just being a bit of an ass. And it might want to come up a little bit. It might want to make that size a little bit larger. And obviously, if it falls, it might be a bit too obvious. So it needs to be all cloak and dagger. It needs to be all like a pantomime. And it can't be too obvious. If it's too obvious, people would make money, and that just wouldn't be trading. So this is currently a fake candle, I believe. It's yeah, 20 pip candle, so it's quite naughty, and we should be targeting that. So it requires quite a lot of patience. Perhaps orders could be better, like I said many times. Don't necessarily enter at market. Maybe you could perhaps place an order, maybe a little bit below that support, and then to target that. So you have to have a lot of patience when you're trading, and it can infuriate you because there's obviously you know, a poor execution, a poor entry. You're being caught in a drawdown, even though everything lines up for a sell. It's just being an ass, and that, you know, that's just trading. So you might just want to think about placing orders. It might be less stressful, and so these last 3 hours has just been an absolute pickle. We're caught in this range, the last 4 hours in a 25 pip range. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So we might just want to come up to make that stop a bit larger. It could be getting a bit larger, and then once it's got to a sufficient size, we'll come down and probe it. So very infuriating, and the signal is open, and it has been recorded at 64.56 is when it triggered. So bear that in mind. So could be infuriating, but you know, that is trading, so you need a lot of patience and accept that things don't move in straight lines. If they did, then it just wouldn't be trading. Things have to zigzag in order to induce positions and to get people out of their positions as well. Even though they're on the right track, it will try and force you out. And so that's why trading is very difficult, and why very few people make it, because they know, they look at one particular thing, and then it can sort of go against you. So what you ideally want to do is look at fundamentals, sentimentals and technicals. We did it all for this particular pair. Whether or not it's going to obey those three things, we'll have to wait and see, but it should be a good one. Let's look at pitchforks are quite good. I'll have to try and use some of these actually. So yeah, we've got a big wick there, so whether or not this is a genuine wick, I don't think it is, so I have to wait and see. Let's look at some, what should we look at? Let's look at EURUSD, because it's very popular. And yeah, so where are we looking? We're RSL, they went long, and my FX book is in agreement with the average line, so we haven't got a deviation like we've got for NU. The one above is at 108, which is easy to remember, 106.20. So if we zoom out, perhaps quite sideways currently, and a bit choppy. But I think we should be falling really because of the sentiment. And remember what I was saying about the yields as well. These are pumping, so this supports a stronger dollar, and we've got the strong dollar here. So the retail guys are shorted it, and we can see the price respond to that because it's a large size. So they're currently getting punished on their dollar positions. So yeah, this should be falling. Let's look at GU. Remember, they actually did they shorted pound going into the Boris Johnson vote. So likewise, we're quite choppy, aren't we? Big wick. There's a lot of indecision there. 124.30. Okay, it's not too bad. It just looks worse than it is, I think, because I've zoomed out maybe. Still quite horrendous. There's your monthly pivot, 124.75. Below, we're technically a good short, because then it would agree with the high level, and it would agree with the dynamic as well, because they're long and they're adding long. So a breach of monthly pivot would be a good short, and then you target the SLC below. So this is maybe why this is wicking a lot, because of this monthly pivot. And sentimentally it should be falling as well. So that could be a good target, 124. I think that could be good. So keep an eye on 12475, enter below, nice tight stop, and target that, and that would be a stop. And then you could probably use that as a stop for the rest of the month, and we can target MS1 down here. So you can have a really good trade set up here, really good setup. We should come down to MS1 because we'd be below monthly pivot. So this could be a good one. Have a look at that for a trade entry below, and I think this is why this is seesawing and zigzagging a lot, because of monthly pivot, because we know it's already a sell. So that's going to be a good setup. So below MP to target MS1, and that's going to be a good swing play, and that will take some time to get there, and there's a lot of pips, lots of profit on offer, as long as you know where your exit is, and your exit is going to be monthly pivot. So that could be a good one. Let's look at some yen crosses, because these went absolutely bonkers, and they're probably still going pretty bonkers. This MR2 14202 hit it exactly on the nose. Stop loss clusters are here, absolutely ridiculously huge liquidity, so possibly down to here. I think we are a buy at the high level, and we are a buy at the dynamic. So they're selling that over time, you see. So it should be coming up. So I think what might happen is it will come down to get that liquidity, and we're going to bounce, like I said yesterday. So we're going to probably come down and grade those stops, punish those guys, and then we're going to bounce, which is going to be absolutely horrible, but that's probably what's going to happen. It's too large now, I think. UJ, and if you want me to look at any pairs, just let me know, because I'm just clicking pairs at random, just you know, just to see what might be good. There's SLC above 133, one below is at 13250. So there's 50 pips between, and we could be getting both. We are a buy. My fix book have really sold it, so then that explains the, you know, that big move here. And yeah, so we could be getting both those stop loss clusters. So yeah, it's 52 pips between the two. And I'll wrap up now with a dollar CAD, I think. No, actually I'll do dollar CAD and do dollar Swiss, because dollar CAD was a short yesterday, and as I see above, we got it, we probed it, 12620. We definitely got it, I think. On below is at 12525. We're technically quite bearish. We are sentimentally bearish, and they went long. So dynamically, we should be selling off. There's the CAD strength. Remember I said about the CAD gaining over the USD. If we look at the monthly, the CAD is beating the dollar. See, it emerged victorious. So that's the reason for the dollar CAD being a good short. We're looking at the technicals on a monthly basis. And let's finish up with dollar Swiss. And remember just to be patient with the NU as well. And the Kiwi USD is going to be a bit of a pickle. There's your monthly pivot, so I'd keep an eye on that. We are a sell at the high level. They went long, so we fell, and it went pretty sideways. We did go a little bit long, and now they're shorting it. They start to sell it here, and so it's quite tricky. If I was to like trade this one at all, I'd be keeping an eye on monthly pivot, and I'd probably be targeting the one above. It's 0977. One below is at 95.31. So yeah, just let me know if you need me to look at anything. I won't mind at all. And just quickly look at NU, because this is our current signal, and it's probably going to be a bit of a pain, a bit of a pickle, but no, it should be okay. It's just fake. And it's a bit like when you're buying a used car and the car salesman is trying to flog you a crappy vehicle, and you have to look at it and like inspect it and think, no, it is, you know, it is going to do this. I don't believe what you're trying to tell me. It is going to fall. It is going to rally. You have to. You have to look through his lies, because he wants to sell this to you and he wants you to buy it and things like that. So you have to look through what the market's telling you, and like have a look at the the behind the scenes, if you know what I mean. So he wants you to partake in this, so then he can offload his positions onto you, and then you'll be at a drawdown. So it's a bit tricky, and any questions I won't mind at all. Hopefully you understand that used car salesman analogy, but it is very naughty behaviour all the time, and they're like crooks, and they try and force you to get into a trade when they make it look like it's going up, and in fact they're going to pull the rug, and it's gonna fall. And this is how a lot of people lose a lot of money on trading. So get things to align and you should be fine, and have a lot of patience as well. So I'll speak to you guys tonight for the bulletin, and then I'll be doing the SLC video tomorrow. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon.